G'day and welcome to Aussievision. I'm Dale, and it's been a couple of weeks since the Eurovision Grand Final over in Basel, Switzerland, where I was there on the ground with my colleague Liv. Back here in Brisbane, Australia now, sadly not travelling around Europe anymore, but I thought it was a good chance to revisit some of those Grand Final predictions that we made and see how they compared to what the actual results were. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, some a little bit more detail than others, and see how far off I was, or maybe how close I was, or even when Liv got it really spot on. So without further ado, let's go down in ranking order with first place, which was Austria. Now, obviously Austria won the whole thing, and I placed it in second overall. Now, I did say it would probably win the jury, but it'd be not a huge jury win, and they would flatten out with France and Switzerland. Now, even though I won the jury pretty well, it didn't get a massive jury score because the overall score wasn't a high one either. So I'm going to say I was kind of right there. Didn't pick it as winning because I expected a public vote to kind of jump over the top there. But you know what? Second place is not a bad prediction for the winner overall. I wasn't too far off there, one spot. But my colleague Liv did say this.
I think this is winning the juries, and I actually think, and I can't believe I'm saying this, it's winning the whole contest.
Oh, wow, called it.
Yeah.
Now, on to second place now, which was Israel. Now, there was a lot of surprise for people to actually get that close to winning, even though it was a pretty comfortable win for Austria in the end. Now, again, their points weren't super high. Obviously, the public was, but the jury wasn't so much. So it was more the fact that actually these points that weren't massive did a lot better than we'd normally see in other years. And that's why I'm going to use the excuse that I only had it in sixth place. Definitely saw the public vote coming. Also didn't see a very big jury score, which it got, but I just didn't see the others doing not as well as they did, and therefore Israel was able to jump up to second place. So 4 places off there, but not too bad overall. I did see a good result coming here for Israel. Estonia next. Now that finished third, and I had it down to finish in 5th place, so only 2 spots off. And I will have to say, in the Grand Final prediction video, I did say it could finish high as third, and we had a very Moldova 2017 result on our hands where Moldova finished third. So 2 spots off there, but I think to have top 5 overall there for Estonia was not a bad pick overall, so I'll take that one there. Now Sweden here, they came 4th overall, but it was the one that I picked as the winner. Now, I think what went wrong here basically is they just didn't get the public vote. They definitely had enough jury points there as a base to go, all right, if I get a really big public vote here to take out the whole thing. But they didn't even get over 200 points, which is quite the surprise in the end. So, look, I was only 3 places off for the 1st to the 4th, but I think that's a bit of a miss, I'd have to say, to expect that public vote and it not come through. It's not a bad prediction, but not a good one. So, not to get top 3 for Sweden, I think they'll be disappointed. And yeah, that public vote that a lot of us expected just didn't come. And it's really weird because Liv and I spoke during the week of just having this gut feeling that it just wasn't popping as much as we're expecting it to. And sometimes it goes to show, trust your gut feeling and go with that when you think it's going to work. All right, well, here's one definitely I got it wrong, which was Italy coming 5th. Now, I did have it 12th, which is a lot higher than a lot of people had it, to be honest. I expected some jury points, and they always get public, but I didn't expect it to come as strong as it did. So this is probably one of the surprise results. It's one of those ones you go, well, of course, it's Italy, and they get jury and they get public, but this was one of Italy's strongest entries. But again, we kind of forget that it wasn't a particularly strong year, and I think it really stood out for the juries. Muso's kind of song, and I think having the subtitles really helped in the public vote. So well done, Italy. They just get those top 5s or those top 10 results consistently, and when you think they're down, they come back and do it. So well done to them. Now here's another one with Greece, which was, I think, the big shock for a lot of people, coming 6, as high as 6, I think, for people. I think a lot had a kind of top 10. Now I was way off with this one in 17th spot. Now, though, I do want to play this little clip I had in our predictions.
I've got it down as 17th, but I've been thinking about this a lot. All those ex-Yugoslav countries, they don't have many things to go for. This kind of feels like it could be their vibe a little bit.
Actually true.
There's a few other ones out there, and you just need to get enough. But if something could surprise tonight with higher points than we expect, I think it could be Greece, just on a mathematical front around filling that marketplace that not many people are doing over that side.
even when I was reading out that 17th, I was like, this is not right. They're going to do a lot better than that. And I think as Liv and I already talked about how they were filling a big gap, I think, in the market there for a lot of those Eastern votes. But a lot of people came for this, including Australia as well. Harking back to 2000s, a lot of people loved that. And then she did a great performance and gave something for the jury to go with. Really kind of bridging that East and West divide that Greece do. So they did incredibly well. Not a huge score to come sixth, and it was pretty close, but well done, Greece. Way off in my prediction, but it did have the wild cardness about it that we thought it could, and it did come true and do well. So I'll take that as a half prediction right there for Greece. France, this one was definitely off a little bit there as well. I had this coming third because of a great jury performance, and I expected some public vote to come through here. Now, it did well in the jury. The public vote just wasn't there, and it wasn't there for a couple of these French ballads. Ultimately, those concerns we had about the public vote, maybe in the staging, just didn't come through, and plus maybe people just didn't want a French ballad. Ultimately, 7th place is not a bad result at all for France, but I think they would have expected a lot better. 4 places off there for me, but I would say that is a miss, considering how high I thought it could go. Albania next. Well, I remember saying early in the season, for anyone who thought this could come top 10, they were dreaming. And during the week, though, I definitely changed my tune. Now, I didn't have them finishing in the top 10. I had them in 11th, but I certainly could see that top 10 coming. And that public vote came through strong. And I thought they were a bit harshly treated by the jury. So wonderful to see 8th place there for them. I think they could have been as high as 6th. I think Greece and Albania were kind of competing for that kind of same market in a way, but so pleased to see that. I was only 3 places off. I did say they could kind of get in the lower part of the top 10 as well, so I'm going to take that down as a win and a great result for Albania. I'm very pleased with that. Who came at 9th? Coming in at 9th was Ukraine. Always going to get a top 10 result with their public vote. They did a bit better in the jury than I was expecting because I didn't think their jury performance was that great. He was really pulling out of notes. He spoke about that his voice was struggling during the week, but they were rewarded. It's a nice composition. It's a nice song. And of course, they get a good, strong public vote to finish 9th overall. Where did I have them? I had them in 10th. So 1 spot off. I'll take that as a win there as well. Finishing in 10th place was Switzerland. Now, this was a surprise in a not good surprise way. I think the jury came for them just as much as we thought they were, but the public just didn't come at all, which was really quite surprising. Now, I've heard back that vocal, and maybe it wasn't as strong in that public show, but still very, very surprised with that result. One of the most shocking nil pois I've ever seen, I would say. So my prediction of 4th place compared to the 10th place that it got, I would say is a bit of a miss. 6 spots off and, top 5 to 10th place. Look, it's not the end of the world, but it's a little bit of a miss there. Now, 11th place was Finland, and this was quite a shock to a lot of people. People predicting this to win the whole thing. And I have to say that I wasn't one of them, because I definitely saw this outside the 5. I had this in 7th. I just always worried about the fact that this was quite a fan song, wasn't like a first listen or watch, and the big moments really come late in the piece, and even though everyone loves that, I just don't think it connected as much as it did with the fans as it did with the public. I expected similar on both sides, and I think it was like 80 something and 110, so kind of similar there. I didn't think it'd be as low as 11th, but I think to kind of have it down to 7th, be about 4 positions off there, I think I'll take that prediction of it not doing as well as people think, even though it was even a little bit lower than I thought. So shame for Erica, because I think it deserved higher than that. 12th place was the Netherlands here, and I think this was about the right result for them. They got a good jury score, not a great public, but solid enough, right? And I think this song had a lot of potential to be even higher, but I think just the package overall, it kind of fitted around the 12th spot. I had it in 9th, but I remember kind of saying bottom of the 10 or just outside, and it's finished 12th place. So this feels about right, just 3 places off there. Latvia next. Now that finished 13th, and I did not see this coming, and I've underestimated Latvia the entire time, though I did predict it to qualify. Didn't just qualify, it came 2nd or 3rd in that semi-final. I had it down as 23rd, and it finished in 13th, so I was a whopping 10 places off on this, so I got this wrong. definitely saw the market for it, but I did think it was going to get stomped on in the grand final, and I probably didn't expect the jury to come for this type of song as they traditionally haven't in the past. But it was nice to see their visual efforts rewarded, even though maybe not the song for me. All right, 14th was Poland. I love Justina, but I did worry about this, where this could come. I thought maybe at this highest it could maybe sneak into the 10th, but I put it in 14th spot. So bang on there for Poland. Picked it with her. Bizarre recap, right? So I don't think that would have helped matters, but a very good public vote. Not a great jury result, which was kind of to be expected with this type of song, for 14th overall. So a solid result for Poland, and bang on the money with my prediction. Germany next. Now, they came in 15th, and I had them placed 13th overall. So 2 spots off. I thought there would be solid points on both sides where there was, but nothing super high or super low. Like, there was enough there with the staging and the song to sort of overcome some of those vocal things, and I think it still would have had that limitation. I think this is a really solid result for Germany. I think they probably would have liked a bit higher, but it's a solid result, and it's gone on to be this amazing Spotify track after the fact. And that's what you can be a winner even if you don't win or get a top 10 result. So well done, Germany. Lithuania next. Now, I'm going to blame Liv for this, because I was off Lithuania all season. I was like, it's dreary, it's dull, and then something clicked for me during the week. I think in that stadium, it just kind of worked really well, and I got a bit overexcited, and I thought the juries would really come for this potentially as that kind of standout piece of to kind of go for and, I guess, enjoy the musicality. Even though I didn't expect a very big public score, I thought some diaspora votes could bring it up to a potential top 10 result, and I had as high as 8th here. Now, it finished 16th, so I was 8 off. I think I said the lowest it would finish is around 15th, so I was kind of close there. But yeah, I definitely over-egged the chances of Lithuania there, and they certainly didn't go for it, which is a shame, because I did end up liking it in the end, but I didn't like it all season, so I don't know what was going on. I just got caught up in the Basel moment. Next, 17th was Malta, which again was a surprise to many people to be this low. I have to say, not for me. I had this in 19th, and it was probably the one Liv and I disagreed with the most. But only 2 spots off there. I just didn't see the jury coming for it massively when they had so many other things to go for, and Malta rely on that jury result. Even though she did a good performance on the night then, she got a really solid score. They never do well in the public vote. This is always a bit of messy staging that almost saw it not get out of the semi-final, which we were worried about. And ultimately, that led to a 19th spot overall. Malta made the grand final. That was their victory. They probably would have hoped for a lot better, but you know what? If I was Malta, I'd take your 19th. If I was Australia, I'd be taking 19th. So take it. But it's a bit lower than expected. They really over-egged that staging. Norway next. Now, it finished 18th. I had it 15th, just a couple of spots lower. I was always a bit worried for this. I think potentially it was a top 10 song going into the contest. I think there was a lot there for juries to like. It's proved to be popular after the contest too. Running order, he also really kind of struggled with his vocal as the week went on. I think his voice just got very tired, and I think maybe he lost a bit of confidence as well. So it was all very good, but it just could have been excellent, and therefore you end up coming 18th rather than maybe 10th or 11th, 12th or 9th. So only a few spots off there, but still a really good effort there for Norway. UK next. Now, I had this coming last, sorry UK, and I really shouldn't have, because we said it ourselves. The jury show was the best show they did the entire time. They've kind of were missing notes, very out of time in a lot of the other performances, but jury show they did nail it, and they got rewarded. I thought maybe rewarded a bit too much, sorry UK, but still, hey, they did well there. You got your 12 points and got to hear that, which was great. But I was definitely off here, not expecting it to be 19th. I thought maybe it could climb into the lower 20s, 21, 22, but I didn't think it'd make the top 20. So well done for getting 19th there, and sorry that I had you down for last. Lucky for that jury performance, you got your nil point. Next was Armenia coming in 20th. I had it down as 21st. I thought maybe I was putting it a little bit too high there, but actually it came through a little bit there. They get some decent points from the same type of people. It's a good staging package, and ultimately it's what cost Australia getting through in the semi-final. So well done, Armenia, with that result. Just 1 point off there for me. Portugal, I had it down for 21st, actually. Oh, no, it came 21st, and I had it down for 24th. Now, I did think it could get some jury points and get a little bit of love there. It probably even did better than I expected in the grand final. Only 3-point places difference, but there's a little bit of a difference for those last few to the 20th and 21st area, so it kind of went above my expectations there. So they always do, Portugal. They just make it happen. I don't know how, but they make it happen. Luxembourg next. A bit of a low result here, I thought, in 22nd place. Running order probably impacted them. They got a bit stomped on. I had it as 16th. I think I did say it could go down to the early 20s, but I really thought that would be the bottom of where it could go, and it kind of ended up in that bottom part. So 22nd overall. I think their victory was to get out of that semi-final, and I think their staging concept really helped them do that, because they might have been in trouble otherwise. So 22nd, so there we go. Denmark, I had it down as 20th, and it came 23rd. So it definitely expected in the 20s. I think the public vote, maybe I thought they might have got a few more points from the Scandies or something. But she did well, and she's got a good vocal, and the juries came for it a little bit. But making the grand final was her victory. So well done to Denmark. Spain, 24th place. I had it 25th, second last to third last, pretty close. It was always a question of where were the points going to come from, and we just didn't see a lot of points coming Melody's way, even though I adored it. I got to see it in the stadium, and I loved every second of it right in front of me, throwing that mic. So she'll go down as a legend, even though that is a disappointing result, I think, for Spain. But Spain gonna Spain. Iceland, 25th. Look, I'm not surprised it didn't do well at the juries. I think it had 0, right? And then the public, though, I thought maybe it would have come for this a little bit more. I just think maybe it worked better in the semi. When it opened, it just came boom out of there, where it got a good semi result. But 18th, I had it down as, and it came 25th. So I was quite a bit off there. I kind of over predicted how maybe people would love the Timu Jedward guys. And finally, San Marino, 26th place. I had it 22nd, 4 points off. It's going to be in the bottom 5. I was surprised. Am I surprised it came last? Not overly. I think it was always about where the points going to come. Maybe I thought some public could come for it. I was really surprised to see Australia rank at 26 and 26, particularly with the public vote. We love a kind of jingle banger, but we just didn't go for it. So I guess a lot of other things for people to look at. So look, overall, I think my average was about 4 places off overall for the 26, which isn't too bad, to be honest. And other than about 3 or 4 way offs, I was pretty happy how it turned out. They were all the kind of area, but ultimately I didn't pick the winner, and so I only had it second. So ultimately, I guess I just lose there overall. But really interesting show. Those are the predictions, and let me know if you predicted it right, or if you were way off with a lot of other people as well. All right, we'll catch you later.